Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Monday. No, I was about to say February 17th, and you know what that means. It's time for the High Risk Wrestling Recap. I am your host, Jeremy Pierce. We are on the road to WrestleMania, Revolution, Dynasty, Stand and Deliver. So much going on. Check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. Without further ado, let's get into the news. Rey Mysterio revealed that the WWE received many legal warnings over his superhero-inspired gear. I mean, he has wrestled as the Joker, Captain America, Daredevil, the Shadow, so on and so forth. Yes, of course he was going to get hits with the notice, man. Like I understand, Ray. We all love cosplaying, but my guy, gotta tone it down. If you didn't see this past week, Ricky Starks has debuted in NXT, and that was very, very, very quick after his AEW release. He was not mentioned by name, but the fans clearly and surely knew who he was. This was very, very good for Ricky. We'll see what happens here. He'll be featured in NXT because when you're on the road to WrestleMania, if you debut someone on the main roster, you're going to make the assumption that they are going to be on the WrestleMania card some way, somehow. But being NXT, it's a little bit more fluid. We had a major shakeup in TNA as two long-time workers there, well-known workers actually, have been let go, and we have a new president as Christy Hemme and Josh Matthews have been let go from TNA. They have been a very, very big part of TNA. Josh Matthews has been there for 10 years, and Christy Hemme has been there for probably longer, and this was her second stint with TNA, whereas Carlos Silva has been named the new president of TNA, and essentially they just wanted to get their own people in charge. They wanted to get their own, you know what I mean, people working around things. It was really a shock for most people, as Josh and Christy, especially Christy, were very, very well liked and well known in the locker room, in the company. Tony Khan, well, we now know why he rejected a television deal for Ring of Honor, even if, you know, some may not agree with it. Essentially, there was an offer at one point, and it just wasn't to AEW's liking. There was one on the table, and it just didn't make a lot of sense for AEW, which is okay. I think you're still very much working on getting a deal with them, with Warner Bros. Discovery, probably for a show on True TV, or even getting a weekly show on Max, but we'll see where it goes from here. Demolition, the legendary tag team, has finally signed a Legends deal with the WWE after many years of legal disputes. This comes as a great surprise, but a good surprise nevertheless, as one of the most legendary tag teams in the history of WWE can now start making appearances and getting that paper coming in. It's really it's honestly it's just a good deal, and the legal battles were part of the CTE lawsuit against the WWE, as both members of Demolition, 80 and Darso, were involved in that. And listen, CTE is a very real thing. TNA is bringing back a former past event, which will be going down at WrestleMania weekend. It will be TNA Unbreakable. This is only the third ever event in TNA history. It will be going down, like I said, WrestleMania weekend, taking place April 17th at the Cox Pavilion in Las Vegas. If you saw on SmackDown, Michelle McCool has been announced for the WWE Hall of Fame. This is probably coming, I'm assuming, at some point later. Elle will get in the following year, then they'll go in as Lay Cool. Michelle McCool probably from one of WWE's most infamous storylines, so that'll be the Piggy James storyline. The less said about that, the better. And WWE has shaken up their SmackDown writing team as one Brian James. You know who that man is, the Road Dogg. Jesse James has been announced as co-head writer for SmackDown. This comes as a shock to a lot of people, but also a lot of people aren't really on board with it, because if you remember the last time he was in charge, he was the head writer of SmackDown, it just wasn't good. Now, I will give credit where credit is due, saying that part of that was due to Vince McMahon being in his ear all the time. So we will see what happens now that Vince McMahon is no longer there, and how things shake out. Their former WWE star Odyssey Jones has confirmed that he will be suing his ex-girlfriend for libel and slander, because of the accusations filed against him, which caused him to be released from the WWE. Remember, Odyssey Jones was a part of the New Day storyline. He was going to be part of the New Day, and it was his big moment. It was his big moment. He finally, after sitting 2 years in catering, got called up, and bam, and next thing you know, he is gone without a care in the world. WWE 2K25, the roster reveal has confirmed that, well, of course, there will be several superstars that have been released in there, but this is, of course, one of the biggest roster ever. They have slowly been revealing things and revealing the ratings. You want to know the full roster is? Well, we have a lot of people. I'm not naming that full roster. You kiss my black ass. On the injury side of things, Kyrie Saints preparing for heart in-ring return amid heart injury absence. We can get a full complement of Damage Control. Buddy Matthews is spotted on the crutches after AEW Grand Slam. Things just happen. We'll see what the full extent of his injury is, but he's not expected to miss a lot of time. And Joey Janela needs major surgery after suffering injury a past independent event. We will see what goes on with him. He will be out for a good long while, but don't worry, Miss Mega Bang will be holding it down for them. But that's the news. We'll be right back with the weekend review. Things go down. We start off with the weekend review, Monday Night Raw, as always. We got the Chamber coming up, then we got Mania, and we open up with Gunther essentially attacking Jey Uso after Jey did an encore of his entrance. He's super over. We know why WWE chose Jey to win the Royal Rumble. Gunther beats him down as Jey is getting back up, collecting himself. He chooses Gunther. He was always going to choose Gunther. This should be good. We know what the story is. Like I said, we'll get into it. Let's talk about it later in this week. Rhea Ripley backstage says Charlotte is wasting everyone's time going to the shows and saying who she's going to pick. I don't even think Charlotte went to NXT. She don't want that smoke from Giulia. And just pick somebody already. And when Rhea turns around, Io's there telling her that she's coming for her. And Rhea's like, yeah, I know. I get it. Keep the Io push going. Let's go. Damage Control then went on to beat the Judgment Day in a really fun match. Just got some time. This is the start of revitalizing the women's tag division. I know they released Isla Dawn, so Unholy Union is pretty much done, but listen, there are still teams there. Bayley went on to beat Lyra Valkyria to qualify for the Chamber and give her a little pat on the head. This was a fine match. It makes sense for Lyra to not be in the Chamber because she has a whole championship unto herself. Ludwig Kaiser isn't done with Penta, and Dunn tells him to stay out of his way when he deals with Penta. Ivy now mocked Lyra Valkyria for losing. It looks like we might have Lyra's first feud coming up. AJ Styles returns, talks about, last time he was in this building was this is the same building where he got hurt in, and Dom and Carlito come out, and essentially they stick to news of business where it doesn't belong and get their asses beat. Seth Rollins has unfinished business with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, because Seth has got unfinished business with everybody, and his first step was defeat Finn Balor to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. The War Raiders defeated the Creed Brothers by DQ and retaining the World Tag Team Championships. I hate when matches like this ended DQ because it was really good. It was just a solid affair. But we'll see what happens here. Maybe we'll get a rematch. Finn says he'll fix everything and tells Dom that there will be no new members joining the Judgment Day since JD is out. Listen, the cracks are showing. Rhea offers Io a title shot, which will be going down. Well, guess what? Tonight. CM Punk wants to win the Chamber, and Logan Paul looks about eliminating him in the Royal Rumble. Logan Paul then goes on to defeat Rey Mysterio to qualify for the Chamber, and the New Day attack Rey Mysterio after the match as this is going off air. I like it. I love it. Over on, Raw gets a fist. Over on Dynamite, this show gets a thumbs up. This is the final show before Grand Slam Australia. So we start off with Max Castle's open challenge, and he's answered by none other than the Hanger himself, Hangman Adam Page, who soundly defeats him. The Death Riders retained the Trios Championships after defeating the Undisputed Era. And if this is the pivot for the Undisputed Era, I am all for it. Just don't forget about the Kingdom. Let's start getting these trios matches going again. Danny Garcia in 2.0 made the save. Cope and JY created a plan and then stole the briefcase from Marina Shafir. Listen, the guns are back. Cope has FTR. Get the guns with JY. Trios division is looking mighty fine. MJF rags on Dustin Rhodes and the Heyman gets in his face. Joe, Hook, and Shibata look another trio win a squash match, and they are now the Ops, and they will hunt you down. They challenge the Patriarchy to a match. Another trios. So look, within the first hour or so of the show, we got trios teams popping up everywhere, and we can probably get a third. So right there, I'm looking at the Death Riders. I'm looking at the Undisputed Era. I'm looking at the Bang Bang Gang whenever they get back together. We've got the Ops. We've got the Patriarchy. That's 5 teams right there. And I know there are more on the roster. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Shane Taylor Promotions. And, can't forget about the Jericho Learning Tree. It's good. Speaking of Jericho, says he would take care of Bandito himself, and Hobbs made the save as they get into the ring. Jericho and Bandito have a Mexican standoff, and as Bandito goes to take his shot, Brian Keith holds his leg, and the Learning Tree attacks Bandito, whereas Hobbs made the save, and him and Big Bill, big meaty men slapping man meat, need all of that in my life. Cope and White tell Mox to meet them in the ring later on. MJF defeated Dustin Rhodes in a solid affair. Hangman and MJF end up brawling in a nice little heated brawl. They'll have a face-to-face this week on Dynamite. Megan Bayne won a squash match, and as she crosses paths, making her way to the back, Chris Statlander comes out, and they go face-to-face. Statlander ends up defeating Penelope Ford, and then Ford and Bayne attack Statlander after the match, and Bayne gives Stat an F5 outside of the ring. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's how you do feud. So now we got Stat and Bayne probably happening. We got Thunder Rosa Penelope Ford happening. Remember, Bayne attacked Thunder Rosa, and then we got Stat trying to rekindle her friendship with Willow Nightingale. This is the storytelling I want in the women's division. The Hurt Syndicate. Harley Cameron had a music video and then cut a beautiful promo. This woman is super over, y'all. Super talented. The Hurt Syndicate retained the tag team championship. They defeated the Guns. Lance Archer and Brian Cage came out, and they got next. Mariah May says she will kill Toni Storm at Grand Slam. Into the main event segment, Copeland and White get the better of the Death Riders, but the Death Riders end up getting the briefcase back, and Copeland gets the title shot he wants at Revolution. So things are coming together. Over on Impact, we are moving forward. This show gets a fist. We open up with Joe Hendry defending the TNA World Championship against Jake Something. He ends up defeating Jake Something. Ryan Nemeth causes a distraction while Nick kicks Hendry and then accidentally kicks Santino. So now Nick is, even after apologizing to Santino backstage, he is suspended. The Elegants won a squash match, defeating the Killer Bees. Spitfire made the save after the match. Leon Slater and the Hardys will team up once again. Mustafa Ali challenges Tommy Dreamer to a match, who says instead, you know what? You'll face Mike Santana. Kaz defeated Sami Callihan. Josh Alexander vowed to beat Young in his last match. Josh Alexander looks like he'll be moving over to AEW. Leon Slater challenges JDC to a match. Cora Jade from NXT defeated Xia Brookside. Santino tells Tessa she can't keep ducking matches, and he has had it up to here with her and her entitlement and her attitude, and she will have a match next week. Ariana Grace is right there with him. The Rascals challenge Wesley and his team, who come out, and a brawl breaks out, which ends up with the Rascals being left lying and Wesley and his crew standing tall. All right, First Class has an announcement for next week because they went from the penthouse to the outhouse, so they got to move on back up. Masha Slavish defeated Savannah Evans to retain the TNA Knockouts World Championship in the main event. Eric Young defeated Josh Alexander and controls the Northern Army. Good show. Over on SmackDown, choices are finally being made. This show gets official. Drew McIntyre confronted Cody. Cody was out in the ring. He was hyping up all of the people that's going to be in the chamber and gave them all superlatives, except he didn't give one to Drew, which kind of pissed Drew off. And Drew comes out and he said, listen, you got in my business a couple weeks ago and now you've made it personal and I'm going to deal with you. Cody's like, ever since I've been back, I can count on one hand the number of people that have actually beat me. You are one of them. I have not forgotten. Jacob Fatu comes out and Drew's like, you know what? This is business between y'all two. I'm out. And he just skates. And Jacob says he will qualify for the chamber. And then on the screen, we see that Solo Sikoa has arrived and Jacob goes to confront him. And Cody's like, you can get the first punch, but I'm going to get the last word. Oh, okay. Trish Stratus in the feud and she says this is 25 years in the WWE. She'll be at the chamber. Will it be ringside or from a suite? We shall see. Naomi defeated Chelsea Green to qualify for the Elimination Chamber, just like we had Lyra Valkyria losing. Chelsea needed to lose here. Sami Zayn explains himself and is like, look, you are my friend, you are my brother, we go back and forth all the time, but you're saying I didn't help you? I came out and checked on you. You wanted me to help you win the match? Sami is still wrong, but they are going to do this one more time. Motor City Machine Guns defeated Los Garzas. Solo Sikoa tells Jacob, listen, I haven't been right since I lost to Ulafala. And Jacob's like, bro, you just disappeared. Solo says, listen, you can win the chamber and bring the title back to the family. And Jacob is pissed. Tama Tonga's pissed. I'm sure Tonga Loa was pissed. And as they're leaving, Solo tells Jacob that he still loves him. This is getting good. The Miz and LA Knight interrupt Shinsuke Nakamura, made him an afterthought as Miz and Knight had a promo battle. And they have words with each other, so a match is made. And LA Knight defeats Miz to earn a U.S. title shot. Alexa Bliss wishes Nia Jax and Candice LeRae a luck, but we got a quick QR code, so it looks like we're moving Alexa to the Wyatts. That's where she's suited anyway. Carmelo, Hayes, and Miz have a moment after Andrade dissed Miz. And Carmelo and Miz have a moment after Andrade dismissed, and then Melo ended up defeating R-Truth. The Prophets want all the smoke, and they come up for every single person in the tag team division. Pretty Deadly step up to DIY says they were tired of being played, and they will get the tag team titles. And DIY says Pretty Deadly, whatever happens next is on you. Kid's response to Sami is, yeah, we're going to do this. Maybe in Toronto. You were my friend, and you chose not to help me. And look at me. I am hurt. I am battered. I am bruised. I am broken. That is because of you helping people that don't need to be helped and not helping your friend. Tiffany Stratton retained the Women's Championship, defeating Nia Jax by DQ. Trish tried making the save, but Nia Jax got the better of her, and then Charlotte comes out and chooses Tiffany Stratton for WrestleMania. Nick Aldis shows Bianca Belair and Naomi footage of Jade being attacked, so we got some clues going forward. Trish suggests a tag match with Tiffany Stratton at the Chamber to take on Nia and Candice LeRae. That match is probably happening. This takes place in Toronto, where Trish Stratus is from. Jimmy kicked Drew after Drew called him trash or something like that, and then Drew made fun of him. And in the main event, Damian Priest shockingly defeated Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. Over on Grand Slam, I really miss Rampage, ladies and gentlemen. I do. I really, really miss Rampage. Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega defeated Konosuke, Takeshita, and Kyle Fletcher in a fantastic tag match. Mercedes Moné defeated Harley Cameron, retaining the TBS Championship. Omega and Ospreay both challenged Takeshita and Fletcher their matches respectively. Omega challenges Takeshita for the International Championship, while Ospreay challenges Fletcher to a steel cage match. And AEW doesn't do a lot of steel cage matches, so this is going to be fun. The Death Riders defeated Copeland and Jay White in a Brisbane brawl. Fantastic. This had ends with Mox choking out Copeland, saying, "This is the man I'm supposed to be scared of." Storytelling, ladies and gentlemen. Kazuchika Okada defeated Buddy Matthews to retain the Continental Championship in a fantastic match. And in the main event, Toni Storm defeated Mariah May to win the AEW Women's World Championship. She won with a schoolboy roll-up. With the roll-up. And people say, the haters say AEW doesn't tell stories. Well, Let me break this down to you. I'm gonna give you a little bit of science. Mariah May in the Open Heart Classic won all of her matches by schoolboy. She won every single match by roll-up. She then has won every single match since then, except for one as champion. She will win the matches by hitting the Mayday and then the Storm Zero. The one match she lost during her championship reign was to Anna Jay, and Anna Jay beat her with a schoolboy roll-up. Then I'm sorry, small package. She won all her moves with the small package, right? Then, as she's facing Toni Storm in this match, she goes and hits the Mayday instead of following up with the Storm Zero. She wins. She goes for another Mayday, which doesn't work. Now, when Toni Storm came back as the Rocker Toni, she won every single match for those 4 or 5 matches with the small package. So, after Mariah doesn't do what she does, Mayday, Storm Zero, what does Toni Storm do? Wins with a small package. Storytelling, ladies and gentlemen. Storytelling. Beautiful. Our matches of the week from Raw: Damage Control versus Judgment Day, and a fantastic women's tag team match from New Japan. New Beginning, Konosuke Takeshita versus Boltin Oleg for the Never Openweight Championship. From Dynamite, the Death Riders versus the Undisputed Era for the AEW Trios Championship. From AEW Grand Slam, Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. Also from Grand Slam, Kazuchika Okada versus Buddy Matthews for the AEW Continental Championship. Also from Grand Slam, Toni Storm versus Mariah May for the AEW Women's World Championship. Beautiful storytelling there. And from NXT Wednesday, Giulia versus Bayley versus Roxanne Perez versus Cora Jade for the NXT Women's Championship. Just a fantastic match of Star of the Week. I got to give it to the ladies this week. Stephanie Vaquer for becoming the new North American champion. Toni Storm for becoming a 4-time AEW Women's World Champion. And Harley Cameron, even though she lost, she is super over, has used her time appropriately, has become a star in this business. It doesn't even hurt that she's super talented. But that's our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Look at the screen what we got coming up. Don't forget to check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. I'm your host, Jeremy Pierce. I'll see you when I see you. Peace.